The first evacuation flights out of Niger landed in Paris and Rome earlier this morning, and among the evacuees were 21 U.S. citizens. The first French flight left Niger Tuesday evening with 262 people on board, while an Italian military plane carrying 86 evacuees of various nationalities arrived in Rome this morning. More evacuation flights from the West African country are expected following last week's coup overthrowing Niger's president. So for more on this, I want to bring in Vedant Patel. He's joining us now. He is the principal deputy spokesperson for the U.S. Department of State. Thank you so much for joining us. Is the U.S.
Anne-Marie, thanks for having me.
Thanks. Is the U.S. doing anything at all to help U.S. citizens evacuate from Niger?
So since these events in Niamey unfolded, we've remained in close touch with American citizens who happen to be in the country and impacted by these events. We're also coordinating closely with allied and partner countries on potential options for American citizens who may be interested in departing. But the important thing to remember is a couple things. First, Niamey continues to be relatively calm. Two, we continue to see no direct targeted threats towards American citizens or American facilities. Our embassy in Niamey continues to have full accountability. It was open yesterday, operating on a normally standard schedule, but we will continue to assess the situation based on the security circumstances, based on the situation on the ground, and adjust our posture as needed.
Why is the U.S. stopping short of calling the military overthrow of Niger's president a coup?
This continues to be an incredibly dynamic and fluid situation, and we are remaining focused on the potential diplomatic solutions to get us back on track, back on to constitutional order. We have seen immense leadership from regional partners like ECOWAS and the African Union, who have been speaking in unison with the United States when it comes to our call for the release of President Bazoum and his family and for the return of constitutional order. And that's going to continue to be our focus.
So speaking of ECOWAS, it's about 15 countries in West Africa. They've announced sanctions on Niger, travel and economic sanctions. They also sort of brought up the idea, the possibility of military intervention. What has the U.S. been weighing any of the options to help restore order there?
What I'd say, Anne-Marie, is that ECOWAS has shown immense leadership over the past number of days as this situation has unfolded, and they have been incredibly clear that any unconstitutional change is unacceptable, and that's something that the United States completely agrees with. Of course, each entity will take its own appropriate actions and its own assessments of the situation. The United States will continue to do so as well, but in our point of view, the diplomatic path forward on this will be in close coordination and collaboration with partners like ECOWAS and the African Union.
As you know, there have been demonstrations in the streets supporting this military coup, or whatever we're calling it. But I think particularly interesting was that what we saw were Russian flags. Is there a concern about Russia's influence in this country, and in particular the Wagner mercenary group?
Well, let me say a couple things about that. First, any kind of instability, of course, is prime for further instability, not just in the immediate country, but in the region and continent broadly. That being said, we've seen no indication that the events that unfolded in Niamey have any linkage to the Wagner Group or the Russian Federation. What I will also note is that President Bazoum and his government are the democratically elected government of Niger, and the Nigerian people have also made their voices clear and their voices heard through their votes, through the democratically elected election that elected President Bazoum and his government to power. I know we're seeing a lot of imagery out there, but it's important to keep that context in mind as well.
Earlier I mentioned that ECOWAS had sort of raised the idea of the possibility of military intervention. In response to that, Mali and Burkina Faso's government said in a joint statement that any military intervention against Niger would be considered a declaration of war against their countries. Is there a concern that if stability is not established and if Niger's president is not reinstated, that this could develop into a regional crisis?
I don't want to wade into hypotheticals. I think the important thing to remember, though, here is that ECOWAS is continuing to show incredible leadership here and speaking unambiguously about what they'd like to see happen, which is President Bazoum and his family released. They'd like to see a return to constitutional order, and they'd really like to see government and state services restored. And these are all things that the United States agrees with, and it's something that we're continuing to work with them on through our partnership in the region.
Vedant Patel, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.